In this video, I want to talk about the Democratic Party. I see them as an occult. They have a groupthink mentality, and it's actually destroying people's lives, the way they think and the way they're trying to push their agenda on people. I'm going to start off by showing you this video.
I mean, horrifying, actually, horrifying. I went to this thing called Top Surgery Regret or Top Surgery Forum on Reddit, and I took a deep dive, and I mean, these are what I pulled, and I again just can't even believe that these are all over. These kids are asking for help because they don't know what to do. So this kid says, I'm kind of convinced that it won't get better. Yes, there's some swelling that will go away, probably, but there's loose skin in the middle and above my weird nipples, like someone spit some chewing gum on my chest. There seems to be too much tissue, or they took too much. Why would a what is that? What is that? Okay, number one. Oh my God, I'm just appalled. Appalled. Number two, I'll just read a couple of it. Talking about their surgeon. She has failed in and increased the risk of infection and harm by improperly removing extra tissue, fat, and skin that was left over, and she left extra skin. She scrunched up the skin up to the incisions and created skin folds and crease that are not gender affirming nor aesthetically pleasing or similar to a cis man's chest. I've been incredibly distressed by the appearance of my incisions, debating whether or not they were normal, healthy, or the skin folds will go away. I've reached out to multiple friends who have had top surgery and asked around in transgender communities about my incisions and how my surgeon how my surgeon done my surgery, and they've all concluded that how she treated my surgery and my gender dysphoria is unacceptable and malpractice. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I find it to be completely insane. Number three, another. This is all from this trans surgery forums. I really think you need to present to an emergency room for immediate care. My heart goes out to you. The person asking is like, this normal? Look at it. What is that? I'm so mad. I'm just so mad. Normalized botched surgery, the first one said. Need some advice on my nipple grafts. You need to go to the doctor and a different doctor friend, and we need to start suing all of these surgeons, okay? Top surgery. Rant, help. To make a long story short, I thought I was supposed to be having surgery at the end of December, but due to complications with insurance and WPATH and not being a minor anymore, it was covered under being a minor. Now look at that. I can't even understand what that is. I put the picture all different. I don't even know what that is. What is that? It's concaved. I'm how do you guys think I feel as being somebody who did this a long time ago? And what is this? What is that? What is that, you guys? Come on. What? This just can't be. This one says, are they looking okay? Nope, doesn't look okay at all. And why are you asking people in a forum and not going to your doctor? Because your doctor can't answer it. That's why. Has anyone had a similar experience at 3.5 months? What? I've never seen any chests like this before. What's going on, people? We need to literally sue all of these doctors, and these kids should not need some advice on nipple grafts. These young people shouldn't even have access to this surgery. This is what I'm telling you. They're rushing, they're going without any mental health care. Now they're going to have to live with this for the rest of their lives. Dude, I don't think people can even understand. This is not gender affirming care. This is actual mutilation, okay? These young people will live with this for the rest of their lives. Some might change their minds, some might not. Either way, I don't care if you change your mind or not, you're still having this. This is sick. This is actually sick. I'm so mad. I hope you can see my anger. Then this person puts this in there and it says, chat, is this normal? No, That's an infection. When it starts turning red like that, that's an infection. That means your body's fighting off an infection. And so many of these people in that room have been saying how they went to their doctor and their doctor would not talk to them about it and their doctor would not own up to it. Okay, swelling. What's going on? Where are your nipples? You can get very sick and die from an infection, by the way, if it's not taken care of properly. So who, why? Just why? Why? I'm exposing it. I will not tolerate this anymore. This is one of the things that really caught my eye. And this person, Maya Poet, who I did an interview with, is a detransitioner. And she posts a lot of stuff like this. And I saw this and I was just mortified. Look at this person's chest. And Maya writes, I find it hard to believe that she needed this in order to not commit the S word. Yeah, me too. And who's going to pay for this? Who's going to deal with the backlash of all of this? I really like to know. I know some of you are really mad that Trump is now going to be the president of the United States, and he has said that he is going to stop this gender affirming care. Well, if you don't think this kind of stuff needs to be stopped, then you're not caring for these people. I am a transsexual who cares about the future of transgender healthcare. This is not transgender healthcare. This is not gender affirming anything. This is mutilation. This is manipulation. This is doctors making money off of whoever they can at this point. So when Trump says he's going to stop it, I want you to understand what that means. He's going to stop this kind of stuff happening. Number one. Number two, and he also said he is going to stop the promoting. You've got to hear what he said. He didn't say he's going to stop all healthcare for all trans. He's going to stop the promotion, the promoting of this stuff in schools, in books, like flags everywhere, which I agree. You should never be promoting this. This is a mental disorder, okay, that is real. I'm here. I'm standing. We have a lot of people like us who are out there. But this is not something that should be promoted, that is going to be good for you, because it's not for everybody. And it's a very small amount of people. And we've got to stop these kind of insane surgeries from happening. It's disgusting and wrong.
As you see in the video, the person that made the video, his name is Buck Angel. He transitioned. He was a woman and then transitioned into a man. And even he do not agree with what's going on with the agenda of the Democratic Party and how they're pushing onto kids about transitioning, about having, their breasts cut off, or maybe having their, genitals cut off in order to be the opposite sex. In reality, just like Buck stated, it's a mental disorder. They need to deal with that. And a lot of these kids are going to go through their lives depressed because they're thinking, if I have this done, it's going to change who I am. If I have this done, it's going to take care of all the issues I have. It's going to make me happier. And then if they're going into this thinking, I'm going to look more like a boy, I'm going to look more like a man, I can now walk around with my shirt off and people will look at me and see a man instead of a woman. Now they have these scars on their body. You can see that the doctors was not trying to make their chest look normal in any sense of the word, to make it even appear to be normal. The one that has the breasts that they actually folded the skin, and then it looked like they got pleats on their breasts, on their chest, instead of and then you see some of them, they don't even have nipples. Their nipples are not there, or their nipples look as if they're gonna fall off. They have infections. They just botched these people's bodies. It's like they was practicing on these girls in order to get the money. It's like they didn't care about the results, the final results. So if they're going into the surgery saying, okay, if I get my breast removed, society will see me more, or I will see myself more as a male, as a boy. And now they can't even walk around with their shirt off, because now they're walking around with these scars on them that is a dead giveaway of what happened to them. Because either you're going to look at them as a person who had breast cancer and they had a mastectomy and had their breast removed, or you're going to look at them and say, okay, they was trying to be a boy and they had, their breast taken off for that reason. But you're not going to look at them and think, okay, they're just a guy. You're going to look at them and know what they was trying to do. So they're still not going to feel comfortable. They're still not going to be happy. And the Democratic Party, they don't want people to think about that. They want everyone to have the same mindset. They want everyone to think the same way. If you say, no, you shouldn't have this done, no, don't push this on kids, they want to call you names. They want to say you're being transphobic, you're being homophobic, you don't have love, you're not showing love. And if these kids don't have this done, they're going to take their lives and it's going to be your fault. But they're not thinking about the damage that they're doing to these people. They're not old enough to make a lifelong decision as mutilating their bodies, something they cannot come back from. Even if they say, okay, I no longer want to be a boy, I made a mistake, that mistake cannot be undone. Or I made a mistake, I don't no longer want to be a girl, that mistake cannot be undone. And some of these medications they're putting them on is going to have a negative effect on them for the rest of their lives, especially if they try to come off them. Then they're going to be dealing with depression, and then they're just going to say, okay, let me give you depression medications to make you feel better. So all they're doing is getting money out of these kids, ruining these kids' lives, but they're getting a paycheck. Just like when you look at the Democratic Party and the campaign, no one want to answer the question as far as what happened to the money. Kamala Harris is supposed to take responsibility for that. That's what a leader does. She wanted to be a leader of this country, so the leader takes responsibility. And so she's not even taking responsibility for what happened to the money. No one in their party is taking responsibility for that. They're blaming everyone else like they always do. The only thing they can't do now is blame the Republican Party. If they could, they would say, okay, the money gone because of the Republican Party, because of those people over there. But they know they can't, so they're pointing fingers at each other, saying because of this person, because of that person. No one want to take responsibility. No one want to look at answer the hard questions of what's really going on. It's that party is just about money. And a lot of people within that party don't want to look at what is their agenda. Their agenda is the elites want as much money as they can get out of the poor people, out of the lower class people, and they do that by controlling them mentally. Oh, they feed them all this lies about they don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to live the life that you want to live. They don't want you to be prosperous. They want to enslave you. And then a lot of people buy into that. A lot of people believe that. And when their life is not going the way they want it to go, now they have someone to point at. Instead of looking inward and say, okay, what's going on? What can I do different? How can I help improve the situation, improve people's lives? They're going around damaging these people. If you look at these people's bodies, you cannot tell me that these young girls who was conned into believing they can be boys, now they're going to be happy. They're not. Sometimes people have issues. They may have kids, they may have issues going on in their home, and they don't know how to express it. They don't know what's going on. And then they see on the internet, oh, if you want to be happy, change your gender. If you want to be successful, change your gender. And so they think, okay, that's what I need to do. Instead of dealing with the core problem or the issue that they're having, they feel if I can be other than, I could be happy. That's no different than a person saying, okay, I don't like my job. If I was working at that job, I'd be happy. They get that job, they're still not happy. Oh, if I was making this amount of money, I'd be happy. They make that amount of money, they're still not happy. Oh, if I lived over here, if I did this, if I had that car, I'd be happy. Everything they want, they get, but they're still not happy because they're not dealing with the core issue of what's making them unhappy. They're not fixing that, and they think things can make them happy. They think people could make them happy. They think events can make them happy. That's the same thing with these kids. They're dealing with mental issues. And instead of them saying, okay, let's find out what these kids are going through, They pushing, be happy, change your gender. Be successful, change your gender. Have more friends, change your gender. Everyone will love you, change your gender. Everyone will accept you, change your gender. And these kids are buying into that. And so instead of being upset that Donald Trump is going to be president starting in January, be happy, because he's going to stop all this what's going on to these kids. He's going to stop all this making money just to make money and not care about whose lives you're destroying in the process. And if as a Democrat you can't not see that, you're more focused on, I don't like the orange man, I can't stand him, I don't like his policies, I don't like that, but you're not thinking about who he's actually helping by becoming president, by taking away the force, the pushing on these kids of being hypersexual, of being, you can be other than what you are. In reality, you can't. Boys will always be boys. I don't care what hormones they take, they will always be a boy. A girl will always be a girl. No matter what hormones she takes, she will always be a girl. You can't change gender, that's reality. You can make adjustments to your body, but you're still who you are deep down inside. You can't change that. And so lying to these kids is not helping them, it's hurting them. And that's what the Democratic Party and that groupthink and that cult-like mentality they have, that's what they fail to realize. And then the people who's backing them, the people who's supporting them, the people who was telling everyone, you're not black if you don't vote for Kamala. You're not, you're less than a man if you don't vote for Kamala. You have a problem with women in control if you vote for Kamala. No, people have problems with people not looking at things the way they are as far as truth, as far as reality. Why cause problems, unnecessary problems in people's lives that are irreversible? You cause problems, then you come around and say, hey, I got something to fix that. What you got doesn't fix it. It patches up something that should have never been there in the first place. Then when that patch fell, here's another patch, here's another one, here's another one. There's no solution. All it is you keep telling, oh, you didn't do this, or you need to work harder, you need to do, and it's a false sense of reality. People got tired of that. And that's what people need to wake up to. If you had a son or a daughter and this was pushed on your son or daughter, and your daughter came home and her chest is looking like that, as a parent, would you be happy? Would you say, yeah, I made the right decision for my child? If your son come home and he's talking about all the pain he has, he's talking about that even he has to keep dilating, so many times a day, or his hole is going to close up. It's just like if I take my earrings out and I don't put them back in, eventually my hole is going to close up. It's not going to stay open forever. It's going to eventually close up. And that's the same thing when a man decides to take his genitals off. He has to keep something in it in order for it to stay open, or the body would naturally close it if nothing's in it. So that's something they don't think about they have to do for the rest of their lives if they want to be a girl, if they want to be a woman. That's something they would have to do for the rest of their lives. That's something a woman doesn't have to do. So like I said, you cannot change your gender. You cannot be the opposite of who you think you want, who you feel that you want to be. And that's the truth that needs to be told to these kids, and allow them to deal with their issues. I feel that kids need to be taught conflict resolution. Kids need to be taught how to deal with their emotions, because they're going to be very emotional. And a lot of times kids don't have a voice because their parents don't want to listen, the teachers don't want to listen, the adults don't want to listen, so they go to the internet. And then these people on the internet are actually preying on your kids. They're not helping them. They're predators looking for victims. And that's what they end up doing to these kids. So kids need to be taught this, if not in the home, in the school environment, in some type of safe environment. They need to be taught how to have conversation, how to express themselves in a positive way. And I truly feel that both girls and boys should be taught some type of self-defense with the world that we're living in today. They should be taught how to express themselves verbally and how to defend themselves if they had to.